The purpose of this video is to show you how to get up and running with Microsoft Teams video calls with your students. Now, it doesn't matter if you're using Microsoft Teams for your daily schoolwork or if you're using Google Classroom or D2L Brightspace. If you're meeting in Microsoft Teams, the best way to start is schedule this in Microsoft Teams. If at all possible, use an actual team that has your students already as members. So if you've got a team, go ahead and click on that team. Go to any one of your channels. It doesn't really matter which one. Again, if you're using Microsoft Teams for your assignments back and forth with students, you'll arrange beforehand with your students which channel you'd like to have that meeting in. But if you're working outside of Microsoft Teams, no sweat. You're still going to come into any one of these teams and look at the upper right-hand corner for Meet. And on the date or time you'd like to have this, click on Schedule a Meeting. All right, so I can put a date here. I could put a particular subject, whatever I like. Assuming that all of your students are already enrolled in a Microsoft team with you, you can just kind of leave it at that and just click on Send to schedule that meeting. Now that is going to show up in your Microsoft team. There it is right there. What you can do at this point is you can just click on it and it will expand. And when it does, you've got a couple of options here, okay? You're going to first want to definitely go in and click on meeting options. Just give that a click and it's going to open in your web browser. You definitely want to set this up beforehand. All right, so in these meeting options, check this out. The bypassing the lobby refers to if you allow the default people in my organization and guests, it means basically anybody with this link can join this meeting before you, the teacher. So you're probably going to want to change that. You're probably going to say either people in my organization if you're okay with your students joining before you, but otherwise what most teachers are going to want to do is just choose only me. So nobody else can join this before the teacher, right? Always let callers. So there are some cases where people can phone into a Microsoft team. We're going to keep this on no. Announce when callers join or leave. It's up to you. It plays a little chime. You may wish to turn this off. Who can present? Now, do you want to share that screen sharing ability with your students? Maybe you do. And if you do, leave it on everyone. But if it's only going to be you or specific people that you want to name, you can choose that. But you may want to start off with just being you. Now, do you want your students to have your microphone? Most teachers would say yes. There is still a way that you can mute all your students if need be inside the meeting, but you'll probably want to keep the microphones on for some interactivity. Reactions are kind of like thumbs up, hand raised, that kind of thing. Leave that. And then choose Save. Now, if you are doing all of your learning and assignments outside of Microsoft Teams and you're just using Teams for the video meetings, for example, if you're using Google Classroom or D2L Brightspace or a particular website to post things on, what you can do is you can choose Copy Link here, and then you can paste that link into your learning management system for when you want your students to join. Okay? So whenever you are ready, let's say it's the day of the meeting and you want to join it, you can hit Join, and that'll just pop open your Microsoft Teams. So once we're in Microsoft Teams, all the things you need to kind of manage this meeting are all at the very top here. We've got a list of participants, and as your students start to join from the lobby, this is one you may want to keep open. You can see who's in the call with you, okay? This is a place where you can also mute people. And if need be, you can remove other people from this participants tab that opens up. We have a chat here for conversation back and forth. That is something that many teachers like to have going to keep students engaged. So you may wish to open that conversations piece. Now you're welcome to just use this chat area for typing messages, but just know that you can add additional things here. You can attach files, and the moment you attach a file to this call, anyone in the call will have editing access. You've also got some stickers and emojis and so on. There is a hand raise button here that you will want to pay attention to, and here are the other reactions. But the hand raise button will give you a little alert if a student wants to raise their hand. So practice these with your students the first time. A new feature that has come to Microsoft Teams recently is breakout rooms. It's really easy to set up. Here's how you do it. You just click on the little breakout rooms icon. It's kind of like one little square inside of a big square. You select the number of rooms that you'd like to create. So it doesn't go by the number of participants in the room. You have to kind of set how many rooms. You can set this up in advance. If you know you've got 27 students and you want to create groups of 3, you can set up 9 breakout rooms well in advance. So you can have students automatically separated into those, or you can choose to manually have people move to those rooms as when you open them. So once you do that, you can create rooms. Now, don't worry. You can click that create button. It doesn't open them and send anybody in there right away. It's just kind of creating them in the background and having them ready for you for when you're ready to do this with your students. So there are those rooms here. You've got the ability to rename each of those rooms. And when you have students arrive here, you can open them at any time. You have the option of adding more rooms on the fly. And once you have students in the session with you, you'll see if you've got them automatically set to join these rooms, you'll see which students are in each room. You can hover over any one of the rooms yourself as the teacher and choose the 3 dots, and you can choose join room if you wish to, okay? And you'll even have an option once your breakout rooms are running, you'll have an option in here to share an announcement. It's kind of grayed out here right now, but you'll be able to make an announcement such that a message would go into the chat of every one of the breakout rooms. So if it's a link to a document or a website, or if it's just sort of some instructions for people, you can also set on the room settings. You can set a time limit. You can give options for students to return to the main meeting whenever they want to. Right now it's turned off, but you could turn it on if you want. And if you have a set time limit, you can just choose to set that for however many hours or minutes you wish to, and then it'll just bring people back into the main room after that. So that is how you use breakout rooms. That is really enough to get you up and starting.